It was over a decade ago now. I had just that day presided at my niece's wedding, and the reception was at the KC Hall, and it was huge. I mean, it was loud, it was crowded, it was wonderfully crazy. But my dad could only take so much of that loud and crowded and wonderful crazy. So every once in a while, periodically, he would just make a trip out to the parking lot and go to the car and just sit in the quiet for a few moments. On one of those trips to the car, I accompanied him, and we just sat there and talking about nothing in particular for a few minutes, and then out of nowhere, he says, "You know, I'm not afraid of dying." And before I could respond, he gets out of the car and walks back to the party and just left me sitting there. I'm like, okay, then, good to know, Dad, but where did that come from? I mean, Dad had just turned 80. He was still working a 40-hour-a-week job, and the strongest medicine he took was Tums. I guess he just wanted me to know he was not afraid. We live so much of our lives and make so many decisions from a fear perspective. We fear loss, so we buy insurance. We fear other countries, so we create more weapons. We fear endings, so we make contingency plans. We fear immigrants or people who are different from us, so we find a way to keep them at bay. We fear betrayal, and so we are hesitant to trust. We fear getting old, we fear getting sick, and we fear dying. And that's not all bad. I mean, some fear lends us or brings us to make some prudent decisions in our lives, to prepare and anticipate and foresee consequences. So not all fear is bad, but when we build our lives solely on fear, we will be crippled. When we build our lives on a foundation of fear, there is no room for joy, for celebration, for hope. The only thing, my friends, the only thing I've ever found that allows us to live without fear, the one thing, trust in God's unconditional love. To erase anxiety from our lives, to remove from the illusion that somehow we can keep all of this together or control it all, the only thing that will get us to live beyond our fear is to trust, no matter what, that God's love endures through it all. But to place ourselves fully in that embrace of God's unconditional love, on this side of the grave, it's not always easy. Sometimes we're just emotionally wounded, or we're psychologically damaged, or we're morally broken, and just enough not to grasp fully that love. It's a challenge to have faith in God's love once our hearts have been broken. It's simply hard for us to believe that God loves us unconditionally when we have spent a lifetime trying to earn that love. But we don't have to. God loves us unconditionally. And it was to that end that the prophets always preached when they proclaimed that day, no matter what, that the Sun of Justice would arise with its healing rays. It's what the early Christian community tried to create when they lived in that love of Christ and quietly built their communities of love in which no one was on the outside, no one left behind. It's that love that Jesus lived and taught, love that was stronger even than the temple itself, love that could destroy death. So beyond wars or insurrections, out of the grasp of powerful earthquakes and famines and plagues, even more awesome than the signs and mighty signs and sights, beyond persecutions and betrayals, God's love for us endures. And it is trusting in that love that ultimately can bring us peace, that nothing can take away, and joy that can never, never be disrupted. Maybe that's what Dad felt that night, surrounded by family and friends, and all that celebration was just simply that, love. Or maybe it was his third Corbel, I'm not sure. But all I know is for that night, at least, he wasn't afraid.